We're live. I'm Kaylee.
I'm Amy.
I'm Brittany.
And I'm Amanda. And does it matter if we don't say our last name? I'm pretty sure she knows.
I think we're okay.
Okay, so I thought. Okay, so the first question I believe is, what threats to and let's see, is that the right one?
Yeah. What threats to children?
Okay. Sorry, I'm all over the place this week. Okay, so what threats to children and families did Elder Holland mention? So we'll just start with that one, I guess.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. No, seriously, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. So I guess, I don't know, I didn't pick up really good on the threats that he was talking about. Maybe I need to reread it. But I guess one that stood out to me was like in the story that he was telling about like that police officer, you know, that when he went into that woman's house, and I guess they were basically like partying and like smoking pot and drinking. So I guess that would be a pretty big threat to the family and to children. So.
Yeah, that was the main one that stood out to me. Just, I don't know, all the different ideas that people have of what's okay when, I don't know, they don't think about how it affects their children or anyone else around them.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, I didn't really see, like you said, much of the threats, but I like you guys mentioned that people, like with this story, people, you know, kind of follow. Didn't you say something about following a trend or? Sorry, my computer is freezing up now. I hope.
I think it kind of went along, kind of what you're saying is checking your religion at the door. If people are doing it, other people are doing it, then you're going to do it too. Like at the game, other people were doing it, so I'm guessing other people that usually wouldn't have done it would have joined in. So just being willing to go with the crowd, I think, is a threat that was kind of an underlying message in his talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so to go along with that question, it says, how has Babylon influenced the development of the threat to children and families that you have chosen to address?
So if you guys just want to share, like, what did you actually choose as your threat? That might help us. I know I chose the threat of, like, infidelity in marriage and just kind of the effects and consequences that it has on not just, like, the spousal relationship, but, like, parent and child, too. So that was mine. What were yours?
I chose the effects of gaming and gambling if a family member is involved in excessive gaming or gambling.
Are you guys talking about the threat that happened that we talked about last week when we got to choose our topic?
Yeah, is that what she was asking in that question?
Yeah, that's the threat that will stick with the whole semester, I think.
Okay. Yeah, that's what confused. I'm taking like 4 different family classes, and I'm like, okay, which class is this again? But yeah, my threat was, I was actually surprised no one, picked this one, but it was on, marriages, and I just decided to do the, like gay marriage, and just, pretty much focusing on the proclamation to the family, and, people going against, like, the purpose of a family, and or what a family, definition of a family, that's what I mean, so.
You'll have a lot of information on that one.
But you know how the teacher, she wrote a list of like, oh, these topics you guys can do too, and I was like, I'm surprised no one did that, but now I see like, okay, I don't know, I can go on forever about that topic, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's a good one. For my topic, I picked kind of the effects of poverty of education, or just poverty in general, on the family. Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I am a social work major, so obviously that's kind of a big part of what we do. And I don't know, I see it totally affects the family and affect kind of what they're able to, like, kind of obtain in this life. Like, they're kind of limited to sometimes sad things like money can limit their potential in life.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. Good topic.
Sorry. There we go. I'm gonna pull up the questions here.
Did you catch it? Sorry, I have to pause this really quick. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna mute
No
this.
worries.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Okay, I think we sort of answered that question, correct? Like, well, it's like how has, let's see.
What was it again?
It's okay if I continue, right? Is she?
Yeah.
Do you want me to answer her? Okay, so like the question was, how has Babylon influenced the development of the threat? Okay, so I'm kind of confused by that question. Do you think we kind of answered that though?
Like, kind of just an example that I thought of with mine, like, technology has spread how much gaming has happened because people can game online really easily from their home, and they can even gamble from online just from their home. So I think just the development of technology has increased that threat to the family. I'm not sure if that's really what she was looking for,
Yeah,
but
no,
that's
that
kind of
sounds,
what I thought.
Yeah, that sounds pretty close. I just wasn't sure what she was really looking for with that question.
Yeah, I think part of it could be like with the example of the checking your religion at the door. Part of that is like, I mean, I don't know, just with the influence of like I don't know, Babylon and everything, like it's kind of like something that wouldn't be okay a few years ago, but then it's like slowly becoming more and more like okay to think that way, even as a Mormon, you know. Like 10 years ago when it would have been like terrible to do anything like that, it's now kind of like accepted by society. So I don't know, we've kind of come to the point where we accept it too.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. That as society becomes more like becomes more accepting of, I guess, sins or negative behavior, the family unit gets like affected. I know that so many people now, because mine is infidelity in marriage, and I guess like the trend of like having an open marriage is becoming like a more popular idea than it has ever been in the past, and people aren't looking at like monogamy as like a good thing anymore. They kind of look at it as like holding them back. So.
Oh yeah, I totally agree with that.
Too, like the more technology that you have that you're bringing into your home that you're not kind of monitoring or using it in a positive way, that's going to hurt your family as well. Because like pornography, just all that like nasty, seedy stuff like that you let into your home, it's not going to be positive.
Yeah. No, you made a good point. Like, I mean, with mine, I remember when the Proclamation to Family came out, and it's like, okay, why do we need this? You know, it's not something that's really, you know, I don't think it was really in trouble back then. But then again, I was, you know, pretty young. But I mean, nowadays, you know, you see all over the news and all over the world, like, you know how accepting it is for gay marriages, and then, you know, even in school districts, I took like a teaching class, and we talked about school districts here and how they're more accepting of teaching in the schools, you know, about, you know, kids can have two mommies or two daddies, and it's just, you know, it just confuses. I think it confuses the kids, especially at a young age, and that shouldn't really be taught in the schools, but you know, that's what they're starting to do.
Yeah, and it's kind of sad because a lot of things nowadays, it's like, I'm pretty sure it's said in the talk, like, or if not, other people have said it, like, if you don't go along with what the world views are, or Babylon or whatever, then you're kind of seen as like a bigot, or like someone who's judgmental, or, you know, not accepting of others.
Oh, yeah.
And it's kind of hard in that sense then to not go along with it, because we want to be seen as loving, caring people, and that's kind of the whole point of our religion, is to, you know, strengthen those characteristics. And if someone's kind of like doubting those, it's kind of like, oh, well, maybe I should be more loving and more accepting. And
Thank you. Thanks for sharing that, because that's so true. I know, like, you know, I have I know people who are gay, and I feel like I don't want to be rude. I don't want to be harsh and judge them for what they do. But it's just, or not. Just the gay marriage thing. It's just, and then I start to question, like, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't think this way, and it's crazy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, I will move on to the next question here. So how does Elder Holland's description of Babylon and Israel coincide with defending the doctrines of the family in these latter days?
One thing that I thought of was the thing that struck me the most is we can no longer run and hide or start again. We have to live in a way, we have to make Zion where we are. We have to live in a way that shows people what our beliefs are instead of running and like the Nephites did or the Jaredites did. They left the land and they went to a new land and created a new government, and for a while, they were okay, but then those same problems that they left behind started to come in them. So now it's just learning how to make Zion where we are and setting that example here instead of running.
All right. Did anybody else want to share on that?
Sorry, my daughter discovered the toaster. Oh, she keeps trying to burn our house down. So I think that one. So I think I like what you said about we can't like run anymore. We're supposed to make like Zion where we are. I think that's really important, just because I think as Mormons we tend to kind of try to seclude ourselves sometimes from like people who aren't LDS. Do you know what I mean? Like oh, yeah. I don't know if I want to spend so much time with somebody, but that's kind of doing the opposite. We should want to surround ourselves with like lots of different people, but like good people. Do you know what I mean? And we want to be that, kind of that example, so that we can like kind of what's that scripture called? Like let your light shine.
Let your light so shine.
Yeah. So you don't want to hide or run anymore. You have to be that beacon for other people about what the family should be like. So, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to mute my microphone when I'm not talking. You don't have to hear.
That's okay. I did it too.
Okay, so you don't have to hear my 3-year-old whining about toast for an hour.
Yeah, no, my child was screaming too, so.
That's so good.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to move on to the next one. What characteristics and attributes did Elder Holland expound on that will make us, or you, more effective family advocates? Let me pull up the article.
I guess I don't know if this really goes along with it, but it kind of does. I really liked when he said, no, we can't do everything, but as the old saying goes, we can do something. And I like that because, I mean, I think that's a characteristic that we can, I don't know exactly what it would be, but just kind of being patient and, but still being diligent in what you know, even though you don't see the results of it. Just because, I mean, we're, obviously, you can see, like, all around, I mean, take gay marriage, for example, it's like, it's probably going to win out in the end and become legal, but that doesn't mean that we should get up, because it could change. We could change the lives of maybe one or two people, you know, just by talking to them about the importance of marriage, or I don't know.
No, thanks for sharing that. There's, you know, the video we watched that's underneath all these discussion questions, you know, about the hidden camera. And I like what the old man pretty much said, like, all you have to do is love them. Like, you don't have to agree. You can just pretty much tolerate, and then you just have to love them. I mean, that's what God did. He loved everybody, so.
I think he kind of touched on that with like the ability to separate like the sin from the sinner. Do you know what I mean? Like even though somebody's doing something that you might like, that you definitely don't agree with, or that you don't think is right, you still kind of have to love them anyways, and you have to love them regardless of the sin. You know what I mean? And that,
oh yeah,
that's the way Heavenly Father is for us. like when we're not doing what he wants us to do, I mean, his love for us still never changes. He might not be happy about it, and there's definitely going to be consequences, but like that love and that worth that we have from him, that never changes. So like, I think just remembering that, you know, the sin and the sinner aren't the same thing, that helps you be like a better advocate, and I think it helps kind of see people as people and not just kind of like a statistic. Do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh. Yeah, exactly.
Just going along with what you said, there was a quote that I really liked from this talk, and it said, our compassion and our love, which are fundamental characteristics and requirements of our Christianity, must never be interpreted as compromising the commandments. This church can never dumb down its doctrine in response to social goodwill or political expectancy or any other reason. So I just really like that because, yes, we need to be loving and compassionate towards everyone, but we need to make sure that they understand that that love and compassion doesn't go as far as to what they're doing. It's just to them as a human being, as our brothers and sisters, but we don't accept what they're doing. We don't accept that as church doctrine, like it's not what we're supposed to do. So I think we just need to be careful in how we show our love and compassion so that they don't feel that it's going against what we believe in, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, it's a really hard thing to do because, I mean, last semester I participated, they have a USGA thing here, which is understanding same gender attraction. They have meetings off campus about it, and it's kind of like a support group to help people who are going through feelings like that. And it was interesting as I talked to them about just, I don't know, it's a hard thing to do because, I mean, it's hard to show your love for them, but at the same time always have that but in the background, like, yes, I love you, but you're doing this. And one of the kids there was just telling me, he was like, sometimes I wish people would just say, I love you, and not have that but in the background. And I mean, it's hard to know where the line is because, I mean, at the same time, you don't want to, like you said, you don't want to condone or like think that they're doing, like, let them know that they're doing something, like, I don't know, you don't want to seem like they're doing something okay, but at the same time, it's hard to find that true Christ-like love for them, and I don't know, just how you should react, because just talking to them and seeing their sides of growing up with same-gender attraction was really interesting to see just how people react to them and how, I don't know, how different members of the church acted towards them and how they didn't feel that love, or they always felt like there was that but in the background, like, we love you, but you're still not right.
No, I like that you said that because it's so true. I feel like I know I've done that with my family members. I mean, not with that situation, but, you know, like, you started with I love you because you want to make sure they know that. But, I mean, it gives you an option to be able to say anything after you say I love you. But I love that you said, like, they just want to hear I love you and then just cut it off. That's so perfect. It's so true. Okay. And my computer froze. All right. The next question. Okay, says, according to what you have learned from Elder Holland's talk, what obligations, if any, do you have in a scenario like the one in the video below? And I think we kind of covered that a bit more. I think we covered that. Let's see.
Yeah, well, in that case, in the case of the video, what I didn't really love how they portrayed the different opinions in the video because, I mean, in the case of their little scene that they acted out, I mean, the dad was being really rude about it. Like, I mean, and I feel like in any situation you would want to stand up for that and, like, say, hey, you know, I mean, like, that's not right to treat someone that way, which I think they showed good in the second part, but in the first part, the people who were kind of openly against it, they kind of, I don't know, they kind of portrayed it as if you're against it, you're going to be a jerk about it. And I feel like in the second part, like with the boys, all the boys at the table, they didn't necessarily say that they were for it, but they kind of made it seem more like, oh, they're for it, so I mean, they're going to be nicer about it. But if you're against it, then you're just rude about it, like the older couple. I don't know. I didn't super like that, but
Well,
I
I
don't
mean,
know if that makes
any
sense,
kind
if
of
that goes with it.
no, no, that's good. But like, yeah, like if I was put in that situation where someone did like a hidden camera and then they want to interview me, and it's just like, okay, I don't know, that would make it feel so uncomfortable. But especially how like the father handled it, it's like really you had to do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It was an awkward situation, but I mean, like I mentioned, the best part I thought was just that father that said you just have to love them, and like how he mentioned earlier, like instead of saying but, so just say I love you.
Mm-hmm.
They just have to know that. So.
And one thing that I didn't think it was terrible when that older lady kind of referenced that, what's it called, Evergreen?
Yeah.
That group. I didn't think that was a bad thing to do. I mean, she just gave them options. Like, all you can really do is give people options, and they're gonna have their own agency. So I like that she kind of took that opportunity to be like, there is something else. You know what I mean? Like, it's not either you're not gay and
I think
you're gonna have to live life, I guess, alone. But
yeah, like I think what she was
I'm
really trying. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead. You're fine.
What I think what she was trying to do is obviously she saw, like, she looked at the situation like, okay, the father is really upset about this, and like this is probably the best option for him.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily for the son, but like, I think she was just trying to calm him down and be like, hey, you can look into this. And I think she was just trying to help him out to be able to calm down and be like, okay, this is how you can handle the situation if you want to. I didn't necessarily like what her husband did, like saying like, oh, I mean, I do agree with this, but like, oh, they're not born that way, and they're just something messed up in the head, and he kind of mentioned stuff like that, and I was like, okay, but I don't know. That was the only thing that I was like, oh, okay, but I did like how they stood up for what they believed. So
yeah, and
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I've talked a lot.
I was just going to say, I think that when you do stand up for your beliefs, you just have to make sure that they know that you're not attacking them. You're attacking maybe that lifestyle or that choice, but they're still a human being. I think there's a difference where you can say, you're not born that way, or you can kind of say that, I don't believe that people are really born that way. I think it's something because of this or that. I think you just have to be really careful of how you word it and careful of your tone so that they don't feel that you're attacking them. But you also have to remember that it's the person's choice whether they're going to be offended or not. You can't make someone feel offended. It's their choice. And so you just have to remember that, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah. Something too is just, I don't know, this is kind of my own little tangent, but the Evergreen website is actually a really good positive website for helping people who are struggling with that in the church. I mean, they have a lot of support groups and support, I don't know, just a lot of good information on it just to help you. And I feel like you were saying earlier, I mean, providing anyone with an option, especially in that situation where the dad was so angry, I mean, giving them any options is a great thing. And I've actually heard really positive things about that website. So, I don't know.
I know that up in Rexburg that they have Evergreen. Like, I remember I was taking a class with Stephen Smith once, and they have that up in Rexburg. I don't know where it is, but it's not part of I know it's there. So.
Yeah, and that's that was the first time that I had heard it when I had a class with Stephen, and then that's how I got in connection with the USGA group. And yeah, I don't know. It's been cool. It's been a really good learning experience, I feel.
Okay. I think okay, so. The last question is it's actually exactly what we've been talking about. So it's if you were a customer at this restaurant and observed the father-son exchange, what principles or attributes did Elder Holland teach and should guide your response? I mean, we did discuss about. I guess we only discussed about how the people's reaction. So what what would you do in that situation? I guess relating to Elder Holland's talk. Am I right with that?
Yeah, you're right with that. No, you're good. Well, okay. I don't think I'd be able to sit by and not do anything. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because like it was clear that his dad handled it in a very like ugly way. So I kind of wish they didn't portray it as that. I mean, I guess that they have to appeal to something to get people to watch it. But I don't know. I think because when the dad said something like "you make me sick," like that's the opposite of what you would tell your child when they're like struggling with something, and it was clear that the boy was like, you know, this is not like an easy thing for him. It was clear that he was like a little distraught, but I don't know. I think I would just try to level with the dad and be like kind of nice. I guess that just goes back to like having to always stand up even when it's uncomfortable. Like what is it, that young woman's? What is it? The young woman's list that we say.
Next
like 10. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, how you have to stand as a witness in all times and in all things and in all places. And that kind of like you have to, and that's the reality of the world that we live in now, is that you don't get the chance to just sit by. If you sit by, then you're just, you know, kind of a bum. But if you get up and you say something and you express your beliefs, but I think you need to do it in a way that isn't abrasive and isn't like condemnation. That was another thing that he talked about that I like, that you're not supposed to be like, you have to judge righteously and not like condemn somebody. Do you know what I mean? So I think I would just try to do that if I answered that question.
No, yeah, that was perfect. To be honest, if I saw that situation and saw that anger, which I think he acted that angry because they wanted a reaction, they wanted to see what people would do. So I think that's why he was so extreme. But if I saw something like that, I don't know if I would really, personally, I don't know if I would really try to do anything. I'd probably be just like those men and like kind of pass a little note to the son. So, because I mean, obviously that's a family business, but at the same time, he did not want like that kid to go run off and do something to harm himself or do something awful. That I don't know. I think I'd be more like under the table kind of a thing. I don't know if I would say anything. I would want to, but that might be an answer that like a lot of people would probably say. I think
that's what my answer would be.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Do we want to add anything else? We kind of touched a lot on that discussion, and if we were in that situation, so. And I guess at the end of this discussion, so kind of like what we did last week, so have one else do it too. Make a summary statement of what your group's consensus is to the discussed questions. So I guess we kind of do like a summary of what we talked about, or right?
I think I'll just try and do a quick summary, and then if anyone else wants to add anything, they can. I think that one thing that we discussed is when you are standing up for your beliefs and standing up for the family, that you need to do it in a compassionate way and not attack the person, just attack the lifestyle or that choice.
Okay, just wait. Okay. No, that is perfect. I don't know if does anybody else want to add anything to that? Okay, so I guess we're all through. I think that was more than 20 minutes, right? So
yeah, that was.
Does it have to be 20 minutes?
30 minutes. I think we're good on time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was supposed to be 20 to 30 minutes, so I think we're good. But same time next week, I guess. And
yeah, perfect. I'll post this to the discussion.
Did you want to submit it?
Yeah,
okay, perfect. Thank you so much,
link,
Kaylee.
so I'll do that. You're welcome.
Okay.
See you guys next week.
All
Have a
right,
good
I
weekend.
guess. All right. You too. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.